So there's an opinion that has solidified on the right politically, and it appears at other points on the political spectrum, but it's mostly on the right, I would say, and it's also taken hold out in the alternative media wilderness among podcasters and Substack newsletter writers that much of what has been communicated about COVID by the government and by the mainstream media has amounted to really a hoax, right? And much of what we've done and demanded that others do in response to COVID has been, therefore, unnecessary and even unethical. And so everything from lockdowns to school closures to mask mandates to the vaccination campaign itself to downplaying the efficacy of ivermectin, right? All of this has been done for sinister political motives and based on corporate greed, right? So what we have now is something, the tens of millions of people, at least, believe that our entire response to COVID, basically everything we've done for the last 18 months or so, has had the ulterior purpose of increasing social control, right? And basically,
Yes.
we've got people, this is the explicit claim one hears from all these quarters now, that the whole purpose of this has been to soften us up for some kind of Orwellian acquiescence to state power. And then with respect to the vaccines in particular, it's also being driven by just the sheer profiteering motive of pharmaceutical companies. Now, there are many specific
Which is odd because, of course, the vaccines are free to the citizenry. But anyway, go on.
Right. Oh, yeah. So we should just unpick all of this. But there are specific policies that one could debate, obviously. I guess at the moment, I think I'm currently uncertain about why kids in schools where all the kids have been vaccinated are still wearing masks. I think you could wonder about the wisdom or necessity of that, and I'd like to talk about that kind of stuff. But it seems to me that this basic idea, which has, again, it's infected, these are not just uneducated rubes who believe this. And I'm not talking about, the QAnon cult, although obviously this includes the QAnon cult. But I'm talking about many people who are quite smart, several friends and colleagues who have prominent podcasts, right, have fallen into this paranoid picture of what's going on. And there are extreme endpoints of this paranoia. There's the idea that Bill Gates is putting tracking devices into us with the vaccines, right? So there's the crazy end of crazy. But it seems to me that this basic picture, even without the craziest flourishes on it, is more or less insane. The idea that we are dealing with something akin to the Chinese Communist Party here, and that all COVID-related policies have been implemented merely to abridge our freedom politically, that does strike me as patently insane.